Okay, hey guys. So here we are in my shop, and like the kind of the basis, the most foundational thing usually is like a cutting station with a good miter box. And so I've had a few different versions of this, and I looked and looked online for a long time just because I knew what I had. I didn't love it, but I didn't want to do it multiple times. So I wanted to figure out the best way to do this. And so today I'm just going to take you through and show you what I did at my cutting station and why I love it so much. So here we go. Okay, so I used to have a couple tables here, but a friend of mine that works for a company that makes toolboxes, so he's a good friend to have, they were getting rid of all these. And they're kind of old, they're beat up. They look pretty good in this setting. So I just took all these things, they were about the right height, otherwise I could have built them up or whatever, and just, fasten them down in a row, install them like cabinets. But so this is what I wanted, just one solid continuous top to have one nice straight level hard surface to mount my station on. And so what I did was something really simple. I know guys use countertops and whatever. This is just MDF board, and I think I went extra deep because like these cabinets aren't even that deep, but I wanted a nice deep place here because depending on the saw you got to have room for the slide and all that. But anyway, so this is MDF, just regular MDF board, but it's 2 layers thick. So I laminated them together, meaning I think there's probably a thin layer of glue, but then the back side is just peppered with screws. So it just acts as one. They're all countersunk, so they're not in the way or anything. But so we made one big long strip here, and so it's 2 layers. So we just staggered the joints, obviously, because we don't, you don't want the joints to line up. So it's one big piece, and the joints are staggered, so that way you can't, because it's only 8-foot stock material. But if you stagger the joints 2 layers, you can go as long as you want. So a lot of people, maybe if they're in their garage or whatever, they wouldn't have this much space, but obviously it's customizable to whatever you want to do. So we did 2 layers of MDF, laminate them together, just put a quick chamfered edge with a router, and then what I hadn't seen anybody do, and didn't even think of doing it until after we got it on there. There's just a lot of real estate, a lot of blank space, and so I'm just always looking for something to make things customized or cool. And so what we did, me and the other guy that works here and some of my family, we just wrote down stuff that we liked on it. So I got everything from movie quotes to Bible verses and sayings, just stuff that we liked or was inspirational or whatever. So we just did that with magic marker, drew on there, everybody drew all over it, and then it just went over it with a bunch of layers of polyurethane on top of that, so it's all sealed in there. Really durable surface, and it's kind of cool with all the writing on there because that's all sealed in now. Here I happen to have Festool Capex, which is great. It's really great. But there's a lot of great miter saws out there. Like some of the Festool stuff is super proprietary, and they just have like a huge edge on other companies. Miter box, not so much. It's a great unit. Anyways, that's what I happen to have. But so the big deal here is this Best Fence, and so I get this from a company called FastCap, and FastCap makes they make all kinds of little innovative things for construction, particularly finished carpentry. And so this is cool. This makes the system, and so you can have whatever kind of saw you want, and they make the brackets to mount these measuring rails or whatever you want to call them. So you just order the rails, and then you order whatever brackets are specific to your saw, and then they attach there. And so what I have here, they have different lengths, but what I have here I believe is a 5 foot and a 3 foot section. So I have about 8 feet on both sides. But depending on your setup, you really only have to have the length on one side because you can flip things over or whatever. But we got the room, so we did 8 foot on both sides. And then, so you install them and then you put the tape on. And then, so you guys are probably familiar with this, but for anybody who's not, so this is kind of the awesome thing about it too, is so you can you come over here and see so there's like just a tiny little line there, and it is 100% accurate, and you just line it up, tighten it, and then you just butt your stock up against that, and you can do multiple cuts. But it used to be that I'd screw a piece down or clamp a piece if I was doing multiple cuts, but this is so easy. I don't even measure and mark anymore. I just use this, and so it's really easy. The way you set that up is you put it on 0 and then you cut, and then you're good. And the way this block is, you can adjust it so once in a long while somebody will do something stupid and we have to 0 it out again, but otherwise it's really good indefinitely. And then it's got these cool blocks here that can move laterally up and down. I honestly haven't even had to tweak this in the year or more that I've had this. Maybe the other guy that I work with did a little bit, but it's once you're set up, it's ready to go. So I really love the best fence system, and super simple. There's nothing too complicated about it, but man, it's just nice to have something just set up and ready to go. You can throw a piece on or 100 pieces on and just be done with it. We wiped it off for the video. It's usually not this clean. All right, and then I got my got my Capex hooked up to. I got a dust distractor it's pretty much just committed to this space and this saw, but sometimes I'll unhook it just to clean up the countertop, but otherwise it doesn't go anywhere. Okay, and then while we're at it, I'll show you this table here. So for whether you're cutting material like with a track saw or assembling, like you can never have enough like countertop space. I've got 3 MTF or MFT, whatever they are, MFT I think, tables. I use those a lot. They're good for clamping and things. But by far I use this thing the most. And so all this, I had a steel guy I know make this frame for me, and I bought some really expensive casters. I went all out on the casters because I knew there was gonna be a lot of weight on it, and I wanted to last a long time. So because I've been there where the casters are shot and it's just a pain in the butt. So got some nice casters. Drew up this is just tube steel, and had a guy make that for me. And originally I was gonna build it all out, put drawers under it and shelves and everything, and I never did that. I don't know if I ever will, because I don't really need the space. But you could put a lot of stuff in there if you really wanted to, clamps and whatever else. But what we did, so this thing I think is 8 or 10 feet, which I thought would be plenty big. Well, we were doing a job for a school where we were doing these felt panels, and it was really long strips we were working with, and so we added on to this thing 4 feet or better on both sides. So I think this is at least 16 feet, and really just did it for that job. But I never took it apart, never went back to the original size, because it's just so dang nice to have this table here. So it's actually, this is MDF. It's got a coat of oil or something on it, keep it nice. But honestly, we almost always have a layer of styrofoam on it, just because we're always cutting or gluing. Just then it's disposable and it keeps everything nice. Originally, I was thinking I might drill holes in here for clamps, and I just haven't had the need to. It's really just a cutting and assembling station, but it's so simple and it's worked out really good for us. So I thought I'd throw that in here with the rest of this. So take care.